Fred here, welcome back to the Your Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Heckler & Koch Pika II knife. Stay tuned. So, I was in an Air Force exchange today, and I came across this on the discount rack. It's a Heckler & Koch Pika II. Now, if you, some of you who are seriously into knives probably immediately recognize this as a Pika II made by a different company, and it's funny because it didn't like click in my head, but it's actually something that I bought 2 years ago, and right there, that is the Benchmade Pika II, and guess what? Benchmade makes the knives for Heckler & Koch. So guess what? I don't have to unpackage this, but I'm not going to return it either. But we'll talk about that here at the end of the video. But this is model number 14402. It is the Pika II. And on the packaging, there's some good information. 9CR13 stainless steel, glass-filled nylon. It has some really good things right there on the package, which I really like when they put specs on the packaging like that. And then you have the no compromise saying that Heckler & Koch put on their stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside because this is exactly the same knife as this. Now, like I said, I reviewed it 2 years ago, and I went ahead and looked at that video. And you know, when you look at a video that you did 2 years ago, you almost feel embarrassed. But, you know, you get better. Some people might think you get worse, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and do this as sort of a longer time review since I've had this. And I've carried it a little bit since I've had it. So anyway, H&K are made with the same exacting uncompromising standards as their firearms were produced, both for demanding shooters and elite military and police units worldwide. H&K proudly teamed with Benchmade, one of the world's most innovative knife manufacturers, in designing and manufacturing these fine knives. I just love it. All they did was stamp their name on the Pika II, and now Benchmade really doesn't sell this exact model anymore. They sell it under the Heckler & Koch name. It's all very funny now. Anyway, you know, just a quick overview and as far as purpose of this and category. This is a high value ambidextrous lock back. As you can see, it's a lock back. So, and it has that spidey hole, Spyderco hole that Spydercos are known for. Here's the Endura. You can see you get that Spyderco hole for those of you not familiar with Spydercos. In my opinion, it's a poor man's Spyderco Endura, as far as size and shape is concerned. And people will compare this to many other knives like the Tenacious and the Bird, you know, the Spyderco Bird. So it has some similarities to those knives, but the steel is a little different than those two that I just mentioned. So let's go over the technical details. And by the way, I shouldn't spin this because somebody's, I think, grandmother didn't like how I was spinning the knife during my reviews. So, but it's a moving video. So what do I do with it while I'm talking about the boring specs? Anyway, I understand. So the blade style is a clip point, as you can see. And it comes in different styles too. You can find these with combo edges where they're partially serrated, as well as a tonneau style. You'll also could get these in various finishes. They have the black finish, you know, a black coating on it, which I'm not sure what type of coating it is, or this satin brushed finish. The blade length is 3.5 inches long. The blade thickness is 0.118 inches wide. So it's about the right size for a knife this size. Maybe just a little thin compared to like cold steel. But you know, this was meant to keep the weight down, and this is sort of a medium light duty. I mean, yeah, a light to medium duty style knife. The grind on this blade is a half hollow grind, so you got a little bit of flat left here. So if you have a sharpening system that needs to clamp, you have a good flat surface that'll make sure that you're sharpening at the right angle on both sides, left up here, that you don't get when you have the full flat grind all the way up. Jimping. There's lots of jimping on this knife. You have jimping on the top of the knife here. You have jimping on the handle and on the lock back here. You got jimping here, jimping here, all kinds of jimping. All the jimping, it's not sharp jimping, but it's also not jimping that's so rounded that it's just aesthetic. It's functional. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's you know, okay. It can, as you can see, it will hold my thumb if you press hard enough. So, you know, if you have a good purchase on a knife, the jimping will work fine as long as you grip it fine. Handle material is glass-filled nylon, and inside you could see that there are some stainless steel liners. That is 420J stainless steel. And wow, you know, I totally left. No, I'm sorry, I got it here on my notes. Let me go ahead and jump ahead because we were talking about the blade. The blade steel is
9CR13 COMOV Chinese stainless steel.
It's some of the best of the Chinese steels. It's actually a little better than the AS8 steel because they add a little bit cobalt to the mix, which helps with edge retention. So it has a little bit better edge retention than the AS8. However, the chromium is just a teeny bit less in here. So AS8's already known for not the greatest rust resistant, so I'm sure that that's also the case with this. So don't look at this as having such great corrosion resistance, so you better keep some oil on the blade. If you use it for food prep, use something like Frog Lube. Okay, moving on. The handle thickness is less than ½ an inch. It's 0.45 inches, so it's thin, so it's pretty thin blade, so it fits in your pocket really nice. Overall length when this is open is 8.32 inches. When you close it up, it is 4.82 inches. Retention of this blade is really good. You can see it holds it really good. It's not coming out. However, if you're really skilled at really whipping these out upside down, you can you never get it right when it's on camera. There we go. You can, with enough force, get it out there. Now the blade retention is so tight that you really got to use a good hand fling, and you also got to oil this up really good to get it to come out halfway easily with one hand. So it comes very stiff out of the bubble wrap, and it's very stiff, but with use and with oil it does soften up a little bit. But I don't think there's brass phosphorus washers in here. It's probably nylon, and it's there's almost no space between the blade and the inside of the liners there, so lots of friction, lots of tension, and it's very stiff, and the spring and the lock back is tight. So good, you know, really good retention, but it's very stiff and very hard to really fling out. But you know, that spidey hole there, you know, you could take it out like a normal human being and not scare your friends and co-workers by flicking that thing out, or the police, off-duty police person that's right next to you. The blade hardness is between 58 and 60 on the Rockwell hardness scale, so that's again pretty good. It should hold the edge really good. The blade style, again, I think I already noted it's a clip point, but you could also get this in a tonneau style. And let's talk about the clip. Here's the clip. The clip is kind of flimsy looking. It is black, so it's a little hard to see there. And it's very high here, so it's great for concealed carry. I'm going to go ahead and do this backwards on my notes so you don't see my notes before I talk about them. But you can see how low that'll ride in your pocket when you have it mounted for tip up carry. No, I'm sorry, when you have it mounted for tip down carry. It is a 4-point mount, so you can mount it here, you can mount it here, And for your left-handed folks, you can mount it here, you can mount it here. Now, if you go with the tip-up carry and you move the clip up, you can see where the clip would end up mounting. You would end up with all this. You would end up with all this sticking out. So they probably could have moved these holes here and moved the lanyard holes somewhere else, I think. Maybe. I'm not a knife engineer, but I'm not sure why they left so much. Unless, you know, tip up, you want to get your knife out faster because your carry get tip up maybe. So they thought maybe by leaving that there and having a lot of that jimping right here on this part of the handle allows you to get it out a lot quicker. So maybe, you know, some people don't like it low riding. Now the clip itself is not very strong. It's a weak clip in my opinion, but it is pretty long, which sort of makes up for it. You know, if it were short and also weak, this thing will definitely come out of your pocket, but it is kind of long. When I did carry it, it did not fall out of my pocket, but I was not rolling on the ground doing, you know, combat missions or anything like that. So if you have thin clothes, it may slip up and down on your pocket easily, but it didn't on me, so it seemed all right. Stop spinning the knife. Lanyard hole, it has right there. Lanyard hole, and you could get 550 cord through there. It may take a little bit of work because it's not big, but you can get it through there with a little work. The weight, this is actually not too heavy at all. It's 3.74 ounces. You know, it's not the lightest, it's not the heaviest, but you know, you have those stainless steel liners in there. But it's not really that noticeable in your pocket. It is made in China. That's how you get these high value knives. And again, it's very good Chinese steel. And you get it for the unbelievable low price of, wait for it, $29.95, right? How much was it? $29.99? There we go. And that's about what you'll find it for on the interweb. Alright, let's do some tests real quick. Blade centering is good. It's where you want it to be. Blade retention, again, we already talked about that. It's really good. Lock up and engagement. There is a minute, barely noticeable up and down play, no side to side play. You may have to adjust your pivot screw. It is adjustable. Torque screws everywhere for torque screw construction. The paper test, paper cut. This came very sharp out of the packaging. I can push cut with this with no problem, as you can see. It's very sharp. So no complaints there for sharpness. Wood stabbing, where is my piece of wood? We'll go ahead and do a quick stab here. Make sure that the tip does not break easily. This is, look at that. I just stabbed my set. Again, show you it's going in there really good. Let's take a close look at the tip and make sure we have no issues, which we don't. Very good. And last is ergonomics. Ergonomics is good on reverse and standard grip. It's not the best out there, but it's pretty good. And again, you got some jimping there, jimping up here. If you hold it like you should, it's not going to slip. Reverse grip is also good too. It has the back of the handle is in such a shape that reverse grip is pretty comfortable also. So now it's time to go over the pros and cons really quick. Pros is it's very thin and pretty light. The ergos of this knife are really good. So I'm very happy with that. And the price, very good price. And the last thing is it does have that sharpening choil right there that I always like to have on my blades. It comes with it. So another good thing. And it's exactly ambidextrous, completely ambidextrous. There's not one thing on here that's not out of the box. So there's another pro. For the cons, the clip is very weak, and we already discussed that. And the blade is very stiff. And to give you a really good comparison, I mean, to cheap knives and knives in the range of this, you'll find ones that are about the same. But there are knives out there, such as this. Here's a Spyderco Angelica, which I usually compare to this knife. And it's unbelievable smooth, but this knife is way above the class of this Benchmade or this H&K. Very smooth there. And there are some other knives, quite a few knives that are in this range that are a lot smoother. So again, you're going to have to oil it down in there, maybe play with the pivot screw a little bit, and just use it a little bit for it to smooth up. So, as far as a recommendation is concerned, I'm giving this a 8 out of 10 because it is only $30, and you could probably find it even cheaper. Very, very good everyday carry for light medium use. Very, very good knife for that. Now, the reason why that I am not taking this one out of the package is because I'm going to use this in my upcoming contest. Yes, I almost have 10,000 viewers, and I wanted to show my appreciation for that. So, I've already showed off this book. This is my favorite survival book right here. And now I'm going to add this knife to the bounty. And I have one more thing to add to it that is going to be a lot. But the price for these, again, the knife was $30. The book was $25. And I'm going to be adding one more thing coming up here soon. I don't need to put it out yet. I'll keep you in a little bit of suspense, but there are some details that I'll go ahead and spill the beans on right now. The contest and the drawing will be in December, because that's about when I should be hitting the 10,000 subscribers. And there's another reason also that I don't want to give away. That's going to be the theme of the contest. I will also here's one thing. Knives. I really didn't want to put a knife in the contest, but now it's sort of convenient to add it. So if you're underage, or if you live in a country where locking knives is an issue, I'll substitute either money or something else. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm not going to keep someone from another country or someone that's younger than 18 from entering this contest. This is going to be for everybody. Let's see. The video contest will be the type where you video respond to a video, and it's going to be one winner takes all. So that's what I'm going to spill the beans on about that contest. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really, really, really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I will see you again on Friday. Have a good one.